Okay, we're in Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. We're going over what our enemies are to be held us going up in these clouds, these UFOs they call them, unidentified flying objects. We call them IFOs, identified flying objects. They see us going up, what they're going to say. So look at Wisdom of Solomon 5 and verse 17. It says, he shall take to him his jealousy for a complete armor. Remember, the Most High's name is jealous. So he's going to take to him his jealousy for a complete armor and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies. Hear that? For the revenge of his enemies. He shall put on righteousness as a breastplate and true judgment instead of an helmet. Right? He shall take holiness for an invincible shield. Okay, we're going to stop right there. So now, that's why it's important for us to keep the law, because the law is holy and the commandments holy and just and good. That's why he going to take holiness for an invincible shield. You know, I can tell you, put on the whole armor of the Most High. You got to take on the laws, the commandments of the Most High for this protection that he's going to give us. If not, then you're pretty much on your own. It's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of living power. You don't want so as they're going to be amazed and strangers of our salvation. That's why you seeing, I went to 1 Thessalonians 4:16 and 17, and I was in verse 11 and 12. They say, and I heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. So that's why we stopped here and went to see what our enemies going to be saying. Okay? We just heard what they're going to be saying, right? So now going back here, it says, verse 13 says, now we in the clouds. It said, in the same hour was there a great earthquake. You see? That's destruction. And the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake was slain of men 7,000. Complete number of men going to be completely eradicated from the earth, dissolved. And the remnant were affrighted. See, that remnant is that 1/3 that we read about already. Was affrighted and gave glory to the Most High power of heaven. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. So now, this is when you got to look at when the chariots, and well, matter of fact, we can go many different places, because he's going to have certain things that go down on this earth that we can't do anything about it. You know, that's why Luke, the 1st chapter, verse 68 is what we just read about, the start of our salvation. Luke 1:68. Blessed be the Most High power of Israel. He's the power of Israel, not anyone else's. That's why it says, blessed be the Most High power of Israel. For he hath visited and redeemed his people. His people are the 12 tribes of Israel. And have raised up an horn, which is a power of salvation for us, the 12 tribes of Israel, in the house of his servant David. Because David came from the tribe of Judah. But Mashal came out of the tribe of Judah. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, all the way to Genesis 1:1. That we should be saved from who? From our enemies. We just read about being saved from our enemies. Salvation, power, and authority coming to the Israelites. Esau's the end of the world, Jacob's beginnings that follow it. So we starting with the story of seeing how it's going to go down. That we should be saved from our enemies. So we in the chariots, right? And from the hand of all that hate us, right? So to perform the mercy promised to our fathers, and remember his holy covenant, his laws, statutes, commandments, the oath which he sware to our father Abraham, that he would grant unto us that we, being delivered out of the hand of our enemies, might serve him without fear. And that's how it's going to be. No more tears, no more crying, no more sadness, at all. That's why this is worth it. In holiness and righteousness before him all the days of our life. That's what this is about. So, as we, as the children of Israel, are in those chariots, so I said, look, Isaiah 26 and 20. Isaiah 26 and 20. We said, come up hither. So we going up in the chariots. Then he tell us this. Come, my people. We define the Most High's people as the 12 tribes of Israel. Enter thou into thy chambers and shut thy doors about thee, just like he shut that door on the ark. He tell us to shut the doors about us. In these chariots, as we up in these chariots, hide thyself as it were for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed. You see? A little moment until the indignation be overpassed. For behold, the Most High Mashiach Yahushua cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of where? Of the earth, for their iniquity, for their wickedness. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. How that's gonna smell? You gotta take that away from us, because you know that makes, especially a woman, real sad. It ain't gonna be sad. But he said the earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. This is serious. So, look at Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. Now we know, as we see the things riling up now, if you tune into current events, Ezekiel 38 and 1, it said, and the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, thus say the Most High Power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back. You know, so this is mainly talking about Russia, but with Russia is China. You see how they both together now? They're both together. Against who? America and Israel. He said, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. With these hooks in the jaws, he's going to control them and tell them what they're going to do, how they're going to do it. And I will bring thee forth. He said, in all thine army, see? All thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor. Even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. You've seen, you know, Russia got missiles that they can carry on their trucks and so forth. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. All these countries joined together with Russia. Gomer and all his bands. These bands mean armies. France and all their armies. The house of Togomar and of the North Quarters. Germany and so forth, and all his bands, all his armies, and many people with thee. See, when they look at and realize, once I put this in the spirit, we say, what do he say? Verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. Remember, they folks have been disannulled from being, you know, the superpower, the communists and so forth, America thinking that they number one. But Russia got something for them. We got what he say, they got a bomb called Satan 1 and Satan 2. Listen, he said, be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou, and all thy company that are assembled with thee. Because, you know, Russia and China are right together. You got to count them together. They together in this. All of thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. They're watching over them. See, after many days thou shalt be visited. Listen, when? In the latter years that we in now, thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste. but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. You see, so he's going to bring them back into communism, where they're going to come against the land of Israel and America. Those are the two places that he's going to deal with them. Because how they get America? By the sword. How they still fighting. They're going to fight, most I said in Exodus 17 and 16, you're going to have war with Amalek from generation to generation. They're going to always be fighting over there in Israel. But here in America, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. You see, here in America, they took down all the indigenous people that was on this land to get this land. Esau did. The Edomites. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land. Thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. Hear that? Many people with thee, including the Chinese. They got billions of people. See their army? Tight. Marching, doing all kind of things, almost like robots, like they're not really people. They so tight. Thus said the Most High Power. And all their missiles pointed toward America. Thus said the Most High Power. It shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. They're going to think an evil thought. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. That's America. Unwalled villages. Where security system is not that great because you got everybody here. Great multi-pot of people already here. I will go to them that are at rest. That's why, look, that dwell safely. All of them dwelling without walls, without their security. And having neither bars nor gates. That's why I say look, that's how they think. Go to Isaiah 47 chapter. Isaiah 47 chapter. Verse 7. And thou said, I shall be a lady forever. That's what America say, I'll be a lady forever. They got the little lady out there in the harbor, right? So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given the pleasures. Let's talk about them, see? You know? Ezekiel 38:11, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. That's why they say, look, who are they? Verse 1 says, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Virgin because ain't nobody touched America. Verse 8, therefore hear now this, thou that art given the pleasures, that dwelleth carelessly, that saith in thine heart, saying they mind what? I am, and none else beside me. I'm the Most High. I'm a Mashiach Elohim, none else beside me. I shall not sit a widow. Meaning I will not sit a widow, meaning I'm not going to lose men so the women become widows. Neither shall I know the loss of children. I'm not going to lose my children. Because they figure their military might is so strong that it can't be touched. That's why they say they're virgins. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment in one day. One day. A moment in one day. Loss of children and widowhood. Just what they say not going to happen? Going to happen. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries. Hear that? Multitude of sorceries, witchcrafts, and spells that have put on the whole world. Remember he told you in Revelation 18:23, but they have deceived all nations by their sorceries. It's almost like saying, they shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. See? So we went over this before, going back to Ezekiel 38th chapter. And everybody's here. Great melting pot of nations. Ezekiel 38:12. To take a spoil. Take everything they have. Rob them. and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited over here, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods, that dwell in the midst of the land. You see. But there's a judgment that we read about that you got to deal with. That's why, as far as how they think that they're going to be able to do all the things they've done, and there's no judgment. When we done all the things we done, and the Most High brought a judgment upon us, his chosen people. He said, Jacob have I loved. He never said he loved no one else or prove it. He never said he loved no one else but Jacob, who was the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Look, verse 14, therefore, son of man, prophesy and say unto Gog, thus said the Most High Power, in that day when my people of Israel dwelleth safely, shalt thou not know it? And thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts. We're going to be safely up in them chariots. Is that they will come from their place in the north parts. Russia is up in the north parts. Thou and many people with thee, China, and all these other nations are going to be joined with Russia. All of them riding upon horses, a great company, and a mighty army. And thou shalt come up against my people of Israel as a cloud to cover the land. It shall be in the latter days. And I will bring thee again, I will bring thee against my land, that the heathen may know me, when I shall be sanctified in thee, O God, before their eyes. Hear that? You're going to be sanctified in them before all these other heathen nations that's not joined with them, before their eyes. Thus said the Most High Power, art thou he of whom I have spoken in old time by my servants, the prophets of Israel, which prophesied in those days many years that I would bring thee against them? And it shall come to pass at the same time when Gog shall come against the land of Israel, said the Most High Power, that my fury shall come up in my face. For in my jealousy, but the Most High name is jealous. In his jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in where? In the land of Israel. It's going to shake so hard that you know he's talking about America, talking about the land of Israel. So that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the heaven, even the birds in the heavens, this great shaking in the land of Israel. That the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the heaven and the beasts of the field and all creeping things, all the way down to the insects that creep upon the earth, and all the men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake at my presence. And the mountains shall be thrown down, and the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. He said, every wall shall fall to the ground. That's why Mashiach Shai spoke on these things. Same thing about every wall falling to the ground. That's destruction, though. A whole lot of destruction. Go to Matthew 24. Matthew the 24th chapter. And verse 1. It says, and the Mashiach Shai went out and departed from the temple. And his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. They came to show him the buildings of the temple. And the Mashiach said unto them, see ye not all these things? They're building temples, right? So you see not all these things? Verily, truly I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Same thing we just read in Ezekiel 38th chapter. So there's going to be one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Look at Jeremiah 50th chapter. Jeremiah the 50th chapter. Look at verse 8. Remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans and be as the he-goats before the flocks. We might have to, like you said, we might have to get up out of here. But first and foremost, we got to understand this is more important. You could leave. What's the point of leaving here and you still got the same mindset that you had being here? That's like we left out of Egypt and we went in the wilderness having that same mindset we had in being under the Egyptians, complaining and so forth. But he said in Revelation 18:4, and I heard another voice saying from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. Come out of that mindset, being Edomites and Ishmaelites and Ammonites and Moabites and Hammonites and Elamites. You know what I mean? All these different nations, you got their mindset, thinking like them. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, especially Edom, that ye be not partakers of her sins. See? That's where you got to set yourself apart from this world. And that ye receive not of her plagues. A lot of people receive of her plagues, don't even realize it. Be plagued here and plagued there, and they still, where you going to run from the Most High? Looking for some type of comfort in this world. Comfort is when you hear what's going to be happening for our future. For her sins have reached unto heaven. We read Amos 9:8. The eyes of the Most High upon the sinful kingdom I will destroy from off the face of the earth. For her sins, what is sin? The transgression of the Most High's law. 1 John 3:4. For sin is the transgression of the Most High's laws. For her sins and transgression of the Most High's laws that they say we not under have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquity. You see? Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. We receive double. They're going to receive double. In the cup which she have filled, fill to her double. Right? How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, what she said? I sit a queen. We just read that in Isaiah 47 chapter. And am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, food shortages. And she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Most High power who judges her, right? So now, going back to Jeremiah 50 and verse 8. Remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldees and be as the he-goats, therefore the flocks. See, first and foremost, you got to come out of that mindset. Learn it, live it, and apply this truth in your life. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. Russia, China, and all the other nations going to be joined with them. Because they're already together. And they shall set themselves in array against her. They're coming against her. That's what you seen in the footage that I showed you. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. That's those IBM missiles. What he said, there was 140,000 times more powerful than the atomic bomb that Esau dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima in Japan. 140,000 times more powerful. What kind of damage that's going to do? Y'all better understand. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man. Remember they showed you how they had the missiles, so they're going to hit their target. None shall return in vain, meaning none of them going to return in vain. And the Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoiled her shall be satisfied, said the Most High. All that robbed this place going to be satisfied. I mean, same thing. I mean, go back a few verses when we go back to Isaiah, because y'all gonna be talking about, thinking it's talking about something else. Let's talk about Esau and Edom. Go to Isaiah 47, verse 1. Say, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, right? Virgin daughter of Babylon. Virgin because you haven't been touched. Anybody came over here and did nothing to America. The shores of America. Other countries, I mean, that went to war with her. No, it has not happened. Say, sit on the ground. I mean, you're going to be at a low estate. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. See? So you're seeing Chaldeans here. You're thinking Ethiopians, Cushites, and so forth, Babylonians, and so forth. But it's talking about virgin daughter of Babylon. But thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate, right? So that virgin daughter of Babylon, for you that don't know, and you that do know, you should already know how to define who it's talking about concerning the Edomites. In Psalm 137, King David dropping it. Psalms 137, 7 through 9. Remember, O Most High, we here to see who this virgin daughter of Babylon is, or the Chaldees. You see, the daughter of the Chaldees, same thing. Remember, O Most High, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. We went into captivity under the Babylonians, the Ethiopians, under King Nebuchadnezzar. They burned our temples down. That's what David is saying. Remember this. O daughter of Babylon. See? O daughter of Babylon is who? Remember, O Most High, verse 7. Remember, O Most High, the children of Edom, who are who? O daughter of Babylon. They put virgin in front of it because ain't nobody came over here and touched it. Who ought to be destroyed, it says. Verse 8. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. Happy shall it be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Okay? Happy shall it be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stones. So, now that we established that this daughter of Babylon, the daughter of the Chaldees, are the Edomites, here, when it tells you, Jeremiah 50, and verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations that we just read about in Ezekiel 38 chapter. From the north country, Russia and China together, and all the other nations join with them. And they shall set themselves in array against her. All the arrows, all the missiles pointed toward America, from whence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. I mean, over and over again. Go back to Wisdom of Solomon 5. Now I'm going to hold that. We'll come back. Because I want to deal with them first and what they're going to do first. Then we're coming to my second side. He's going to destroy this place in an hour. But let's look at, let's continue. It says in verse 11, because you were glad, because you rejoiced, O you destroyers of mine heritage, O you destroyers of the 12 tribes of Israel, because ye are grown fat, rich. That's why, remember, we heard what they're going to say in the end. What is our riches, profited us? They're grown fat. O you destroyers of mine inheritance, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls. Your mother shall be sore confounded. So your mother going to be sore confused. She that bear you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. What's the most hindermost parts of the other nations? Hindermost of the nations are who? America was established when? July 4, 1776. I remember when I went to Japan, they was like, man, your country's a new country. We've been here. Long time, so you ain't go a long way. So y'all knew. God, new country. That's just what it's saying. Here the most of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land in the desert. Because of the wrath of the Most High, it shall not be inhabited. Nobody gonna live here. But it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished. Because the Arabs living in Babylon right now. This ain't talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking about what's gonna happen here in this Western Hemisphere. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her all her plagues. Remember say, come out of her before you receive her plagues. They're going to hiss at her for all her plagues. Put yourself in array against Babylon round about. You know what I say? Put yourself in array against Babylon round about. That's what we just read about, Ezekiel 38. All ye that bend the bow, all ye that had the missiles, these IBM missiles, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, spare no missiles, for she hath sinned against the Most High. Remember the eyes of the Most High upon the sinful kingdom. Amos 9 and 8. He said, I will destroy from out the face of the earth. That's what we're reading about here. Like I say, where you want to go? They all prophesied about the same thing in their own way. She shouted against her round about. She have given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Most High. Take vengeance upon her. As she have done, do unto her. Ooh. As she have done, do unto her, he said. So, here it is. It's right here. Just a matter of how much you're going to really receive. Verse 29. Call together the archers, all of them that have the missiles. And a whole lot of nations have missiles against Babylon, against America. All you that bend the bow, all you that have these missiles, these IBM missiles, camp against her round about. Let none thereof escape. Remember, they ain't sent them in vain. Recompense her according to her work. She's going to be paid back for what she have done. According to all that she have done, do unto her. For she have been proud against the Most High. To the point where they say, proud against the Most High, right? Look, I gotta keep showing you. Holy Bible. She have been proud against the Most High, see? She has said she is the Most High. That's where my second Shah is crucified, right here. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. Genesis 1 and 1. There it is. Come on. Who else? It says, she have been proud against the Most High, against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, said the Most High. Just what the Most High letting us know. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud. Hear that? Oh, most proud. Said the Most High, power of hope, power of armies, power of angels. For that day is come, the time that I will visit thee. And the most proud shall stumble and fall. I mean, for the day is come, the time that I will visit thee. And the most proud shall stumble and fall. Hear that? And none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all around about him. Thus said the Most High power of hosts. This was the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Most High power of angels, Most High power of armies. The children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. All 12 tribes, the northern tribes and the southern tribes were oppressed together. And all that took them captives held them fast and let us go at all. They refused to let them go. You hear that? They hold us fast. They refuse to let us go. Her Redeemer, their Redeemer, is strong. You hear that? The Most High power of hosts is his name. he shall surely plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. A sword is upon the Chaldeans, said the Most High, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men. A sword is upon the liars, gonna kill the liars, and they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. The sword is over and over again. Verse 40. As the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, said the Most High, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. Job 20th chapter. Job 20 and 24. But we're going to get to it from what we've seen in that footage. A lot of, but you notice most of them was Edomites. Because that's what they made concerned about, their own self. Job 20 and 24, it says, he shall flee from the iron weapon. He's going to flee from the iron weapon. And the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn. That's like the silos that they have. It is drawn and coming out of the body. That's those silos that have the missiles right under, and it opens up and the missiles come up. It's drawn from the body. The glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. All darkness shall be hid in its secret places. A fire not blown, that's nuclear power. Fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. The heavens shall reveal his iniquity. The heaven will reveal his wickedness. And the earth shall rise up against him. I'm going to tell you, when you look at all these things that he says going to happen in these times, that's why it's important to be fearing the Most High. Be afraid of the Most High. The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. Keep this in mind, because all these things are going to be actually going into detail. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. Everything he has going to flow away in the day of his wrath. Who is this for? This is the portion of the wicked, of a wicked man from the Most High. And the inheritance appointed unto him by the Most High. And we know Job 9:24 says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is it? So now, they're not going to destroy. They're not going to destroy all of the earth, because the Mashiach Shai got to have something. So he got to have something for himself to do when he come back, right? So he's not going to allow them to destroy all of the earth, but they're going to do a good job in pretty much destroying, like I said, a lot of parts of America. Remember, it tells you once we go up in them ships in Revelations. Or the chariots, or the IFOs, certain things gonna happen. Revelations 11 and 13. In the same hour, once we're in the church, we say shut the doors. Same hour, was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. See, the 10th part of the city fell. Destroy all this place here. And in the earthquake was slain of men 7,000. And the remnant were frightened. That's a remnant. That's a 1/3. Not all of Israel, but 1/3 of the Israelites was affrighted and gave glory to the Most High power of heaven. Okay? So now, let's look at how we gonna go into this. Look at We go to Luke 17. Luke 17th chapter. Let's see if I covered that. Okay, Luke 17th chapter and verse 26. Much I was prophesying about what we're waiting on to happen. He said, Luke 17th chapter, the 26th verse, and as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And the flood came and destroyed them all but Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth and their wives, 8 people. You see? But he said, you let us know the signs of the end times that we've read about what's going to happen so far. People are going to be doing these things. They're going to be eating and drinking, marrying, having fun, want to deal with whatever the world offers them for their entertainment. Not following what he told us, come out of her, my people. You got to be knowing this truth. You got to be knowing the scriptures, precepts, have an understanding, have your foundation sure. That's what I said, the truth is a revolving door. I see people come and go because they not really, maybe they part of what the Most High say you don't want them to get it. But they're going to be doing this here. They did eat, they drank, they married wives just like in the time of Noah. They were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And the flood came and destroyed them all. Now we talking about fire. All we talking about in this last days of the destruction and the indignation and the fury is fire. The flood came and destroyed them all. Likewise also, that's what he said, as it was in the days of Lot. Now he's letting you know, because when the days of Lot, the Most High, he brought down fire and brimstone that burned those cities of Sodom and Gomorrah up and left remnants of them so you could see that he do exist. Because ain't no man could do that. I was there, I seen it with my own eyes. It was like burnt up, and you light a match to it, it'll burn right now. Just like it's like the best charcoal you ever could have. Whatever it is not something from here, but it's the whole buildings are covered up. This is all the way back from Genesis, y'all. All the way back from Genesis. The buildings are covered up, and you can't walk in. You can see the pillars, but it's covered up with whatever you have to make it so you can't go inside. But the structure is there. How he did that? Only the Most High could do that. You see, they ain't on Hamites' heads on a pole. Big old head on a pole. So we were larger than we were now. Understand? You're gonna find this on the History Channel. They try to discover everything. Discovery Channel trying to discover everything that they missed out on. But it's right there in your face. Say, likewise also, verse 28, as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they brought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. This is what's going to happen in this time. He's not going to flood the earth like he did before. That's why he put the rainbow in the sky. The Most High put the rainbow in the sky to remind himself that he's not going to flood the earth anymore. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. In that day, listen what he's saying, in that day, he which shall be upon the housetop, and the stuff in the house, you got all your stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away. Y'all that's into material things, you gotta have this, gotta have that. Hey, too bad for you, because you probably gonna die, because you gotta come down and get whatever you go. He said, if you on the housetop, you don't come down to get anything out of that house. Don't come down to take it away. And he that is in the field, let him likewise not return back. Don't go back. Remember Lot's wife? He telling you it's the same thing that happened with her. The angel said, don't turn around. She turned around, now she turned to the pillow of stone. Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it. Whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. So that's why he said you got to be set apart. But really set apart, not like the churches teach and the religions teach, but coming back to the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. Learning them, living and applying them in your life. I tell you, he said, this is Mashiach telling us, prophesying about the end times. In that night, so let you know it'll be a night, there shall be two men in one bed. The one shall be taken and the other shall be left. And they talk about the homosexual either, because Leviticus 20 and 13 says, if a man lie with mankind and shall a woman, both of them have committed abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. So he talk about that. He wouldn't tell us to do something that's sinful. I tell you, in that night there shall be two men in one bed. The one shall be taken and the other shall be left. He's giving examples. One going to be taken, one going to be left. Because one going to be keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High and the faith of the Most High. And one going to be left that didn't. They say we ain't under the law. And do whatever they want to do. Or a woman. There's two women shall be grinding together. That's meaning women going to be working. Having a job and working. The one shall be taken and the other left. You hear that? The one shall be taken and the other left. One going to be taken, one going to be left. Two men shall be in the field, and one shall be taken and the other left. I mean, this ain't for everybody. Straight up. Look. It says, and they answered and said unto him, where? Where's going to happen? Master, teacher. And he said unto them, listen to what he said. Wheresoever the body is, wherever the body is, the main body of the Israelites is, thither will the eagles be gathered together. Right? So first and foremost, we're going to deal with as far as he's saying one going to be taken, one going to be left first, okay? Go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah 3 and 14. Turn, O backsliding children, talking to us, the children of Israel, said the Most High, for I am married unto you. And I will take you one of a city, and two of a family. So it's not a lot that you can look forward to that's in numbers, no matter how many it looks like. He said, going to take one of a family, one of a city, and two of a family. And I will bring you to Zion. He said, I will give you pastors according to mine heart. So these pastors are not according to the Most High's mind, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. That's why Proverbs 4 and 7 says, wisdom is the principal thing, but with all I get and get understanding. So now, that's why he say he's going to take one of a city, two of a family, right? And he said in verse 37 of Luke the 17th chapter, and they answered and said unto him, where, Mashiach? And he said unto them, wheresoever the body is, the body of a Mashiach, are who? The children of Israel, that's keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, thither will the eagles be gathered together. So give us a sign there. He said the eagles going to be gathered together. Whose sign is the eagle? Let's find out. Don't take a rocket science to figure this one out, do it? I don't think so. Let's go to Obadiah. The book of Obadiah. Book right after Amos. Obadiah and verse 4. It says, we got to read verse 1 so you know what it's talking about. The vision of Obadiah, the prophet, Obadiah. Thus said the Most High power concerning Edom. Right? Edom, the Edomites. Descendants of Esau. The so-called original, indigenous, aboriginal, Caucasian people. This is what he said. Verse 4. Where he said, wherever the eagles be gathered, right? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. Come on. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, said the Most High. Verse 3. He said, the pride of thine heart. And we heard that great pride that they rolling with. The pride of thine heart, pride of thy mind have deceived thee. Thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock. Right? Now, whose habitation is high, that says in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Who's going to bring me down? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, said the Most High. Listen. So now I looked up, this from the Webster's Encyclopedia Unabridged Dictionary of the English Language. Right here. See? This is what they wrote concerning, the so-called white man wrote concerning Caucasian. They say Caucasian. Caucasoid. Number 1, Caucasoid. Number 2, of or pertaining to the Caucasus Mountain range. We say the clefts of the mountains, right? A person having Caucasoid characteristics, a white person. A native of the Caucasus. What's the first one? Caucasoid. So look up Caucasoid. Caucasoid, a member of a subspecies of mankind. A member of a subspecies of mankind. That's what it's saying. Or belonging to this subspecies. Caucasian. Here it is. There it is. I didn't write it. It's from their writings, from Webster. So, and it's just the truth, you know. You got to deal with it. So, we're looking at certain parts of the earth that's going to be hit with these missiles, but it's not going to be destroyed completely. So let's go to Revelations. When the Most High start bring his judgment. Because look at Revelations, the 7th chapter, first and foremost. And